Hello, everybody, and welcome wherever you're tuning in from. I'm Tony Buckley, a trainer, a teacher, supervisor with Sensorimotor Psychotherapy Institute. And I just want to spend a little of your time today to share some thoughts and ideas about a training which is available to you called Sensorimotor Psychotherapy's Trauma Themes Hybrid Course. Now, the word hybrid just means the course is divided into two aspects, and one of those is self-directed, self-paced learning. So total the hours are 96 hours, but at least half of them you would work in your own time following with access to materials and videos and everything you need to do this learning in a time and place that suits you. The other aspect of the training is online live modules, 3 sets of 2 days. The whole course runs from, let me double check, the 15th of March through to the 18th of October. So within that set of dates, you'll have 6 modules, 3 of them online for 2 full days, 2 7-hour days together. And then you'll have about a 9-week module in between to work on materials in your own pace. So the topic of the training, of course, is sensorimotor psychotherapy. Let me just start with that word, sensorimotor. So when we think about what that word really means, I sense and I move, as do you, and all mammals, all creatures. They sense and they move. So that's their primary way of being in the world. Now, sometimes I think we put a lot of emphasis on emotion and thinking. We also do these too. So there's many ways of perceiving the world, but a good many of them are through the body, through your sensory systems, like, for example, through your 5 senses, your exteroceptive systems, or through your muscular movement, where your limbs are in space, your proprioceptive systems, or your interoceptive systems, how the organs communicate to the brain and back. So all of that is included in what we would call somatic experience, the body level, physical, physiological. We can include gesture, posture, body language, and autonomic activation. All the fight, flight, freeze, reactivity, the stress response in the body, which is very intense when it comes to survival situations, including a lot of traumas. So we can also categorize the traumas that the clients bring to us. If you just cast your mind across your range of clients, you'll find most of the issues that they suffer from or that they experience will on some level be a violation, most often a bodily violation that creates a bodily response and bodily activation. So that's where we do our work. Our primary focus is through the body, much more than the emotions and the cognitions, although we will address those too as part of an integrated whole. So there's a little flavor and outline to begin with. In this method, we'll teach you how the body holds on to fixated patterns in relation to traumatic experience, and how there are ways you can journey with the client into those patterns, into those dynamics of the body, and help release and resolve those issues through the body. So that's pretty much an overview and an outline. Allow me to share the screen to just give you a few more headlines about the course that I'm discussing here. So first I want to just show you a little word here, a little intro to Pat Ogden, the founder of Sensorimotor Institute. So this course The two aspects of learning are described here. Face-to-face learning, where we work together in groups online, and online learning that you do in your own time. Now, there's a little overview of the 6 modules, so you can kind of see the breakdown and how many weeks there are in between. So you can see you have 7 to 9 weeks to complete the online aspects of work, and it's all very self-explanatory once you access the system when you're ready to train. And then you have 2 days live in person, 7 hours each day. And that will be with myself and also a team of sensorimotor experienced alumni who come along to work as a team with us. So you can see that's an overview of the whole course. We can have a little snapshot here of the content of the course. Here perhaps you can see in the slides some of the main activities we do. 1A, anything with A will be the self-directed learning at home. Anything with B will be the focus when we're in classroom together. And there, if I just pick some of those things from the classroom, you see we study the organization of experience. That means that list I gave you already, proprioception, exteroception, interoception, but also emotion and cognition. We study all the ways that we perceive the world and make sense of our experience. You can see in 2B, we go, hang on 1 second, I've just jumped ahead. If I go back to 2B, there you can see when we're together, we work on the stages of the process. So we break this therapeutic method into a 5-stage process. So we teach you each of those stages, and we also work with sequencing and reinstating trauma in the body. And finally, 3B live at the end of the slide there, you can see we work with integration. So we integrate all aspects of experience, bringing back together emotions, thinking, and completion of active defenses. So it might be, for some people, this method might be what we call a paradigm shift. If you're used to working with talking therapies that primarily go along with what the client thinks or what the client feels, maybe your focus is more on the cognitions or more on the emotions. This method will invite you to study the somatic experience, and it will invite you to study that experience in the present moment, including the felt sense. And emotional experience is embodied experience too. So we will weave all of these things together, and we will do that through what we call the core organizers. There's a little snapshot of what they are. You can see them in block form there. The 3 greener colors are more physical and physiological. And then as we go up the stack of blocks, you see we also have emotion and cognition. There's a pretty little map of the 5 stages of the process, the therapeutic process that we're teaching here. We have a container stage, an accessing stage where we go in deeper to study something in the body. We have a processing stage where we teach a sequence of experiments where, in order to get the change that we're seeking, and that change is transformation. So we have a stage to focus in how to make that transformation happen. And as I've already mentioned, finally, you have an integration stage. Now, I know many of you are already familiar with the window of tolerance, but there, if we see it as a quick snapshot, you can see the green zone is kind of the optimal zone where we aim to keep the clients safe. So first we widen their window of tolerance, and in another graphic of the same window of tolerance, you can see we process the arousal. You can see the wavy line to show that we process that arousal, but we do that within the window of tolerance. So I hope that gives you a little flavor, a few slides just to set the scene for you, maybe give you a flavor of how this course works. You work with buddies and with small groups, and so there's a lot of interactive learning that takes place. So we do hope you consider the training course. All the specifics are on the Sensorimotor website, so you can see the exact dates and details to see if that course is right for you. And if you watch this space, there'll also be some information forthcoming where we have an interactive session where you can come online and we can chat together. You can ask questions more specifically to see if it's relevant for you. So I look forward at least to that interactive session if you want to discuss further with me, or to the possibility of you joining us in the future for training. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.